I think one of the biggest mistakes that we make as conscious beings is that we follow the script without even realizing it. We live by society's rules. We we are controlled by our natural instincts, by our desires, by our emotions. But what if it was possible to go off script? What if it was possible to operate outside your programming, right? Like you're literally doing what really makes sense, because most of the things that we do are absurd. Most of the things that we do don't make sense. That is why people live lives full of regret. You reach a certain age and you look back and you're like, why did I do that? Why did I behave that way? Why did I think that way? Isn't it because we are being controlled by our emotions, by our primal instincts, by our desires, by our feelings? But what if you can go beyond that? What if you can make the decisions that you want to make all the time? What if that was possible? I think one of the biggest reasons why people can't go off script is because when you go online, you interact with people who are controlled by their emotions, their desires, their primal instincts, and all of that. And that is what is normalized in our society, right? If you watch a movie online, it's the same thing. You find that the characters are actually controlled by their emotions and all of that. One of the reasons why in Avengers I was rooting for Thanos is because he wasn't controlled by his emotions. Dude was actually going off script. Even when he found himself in a situation where he had a choice, like he could have chosen his emotions, he could have valued his emotions more than um his will, right? He's like, no, I'm choosing my will over my emotions. One of the reasons why when I watch The Matrix, I don't really like Neo like I used to back then is because I feel like he was controlled by his emotions. You watch the movie, he was given a choice whether to choose Trinity or to choose, to kind of like do the most rational thing to do, but he still chose Trinity. That's how most of us are. A lot of guys say that women are controlled by emotions and all of that, but when you interact with them, you realize that even guys are controlled by emotions. The only difference is that they are told that it is wrong to be controlled by emotions, which is true, but so they pretend as if they're not. Like guys are very good at pretending. But what if it was possible that you actually go off script? You do things that you can explain whether people understand you or not, whether people agree with you or not, right? You just like, yo, man, this is really how I want to play in this realm. I want to do things that I'm like really proud of, like all the time, and you constantly do these things. What do you think? What do you think will happen? What do you think will happen if you actually did decide to go off script like all the time? Um, this video was inspired by a scene from this movie starring this Washington. I think it's called Training Day. There's this clip where he says something like, "Oh, King Kong has nothing on me." I watched it on TikTok. So one of the directors was saying that he was actually off script, like he wasn't supposed to say the things that they were saying. I don't know if that is true, because like that's actually like the best scene in the whole movie. So that made me think, man, one of the biggest mistakes that we're making in life is that we are following the script. You know, people don't even realize that. Like we are very predictable. Even a child can predict your moves. You know what I'm saying? Like you're so predictable that even a child can predict your moves. You People know exactly how you're gonna react in a certain situation, or what you're gonna say, or what you're gonna think. They know. Like, yo, this is what Benedictine would say. This is how Benedictine will react. Like they know, they just like they got, like, you know what I mean. They can predict your next move even before you make it. So if human beings can predict your next move, can you imagine, how the Matrix is predicting like everything? Because the Matrix is like above, humans. You know what I'm saying? So that means the Matrix is able to predict every move because you're so damn predictable. Deep Ops, thanks for joining. Got me. Did you see what happened to Charlie Kick? Yeah, man. I just watched. Um, yeah, I just watched it on the news now, and I saw some posts on Facebook. It's weird what happens in this realm. You know what I'm saying? You're like, how? You know what I'm saying? And why? I mean, he didn't seem. I don't know, man. He had his own opinions, but I don't know if he seemed like the kind of person that someone would wanna, he wanna, like, take out like that. It's weird, but I don't know. It seems like there are things that keep on happening in this realm to, make people feel certain emotions. Especially many people, like at once. I do feel that things that happen in this place are actually scripted, and nothing just happens. I think things actually happen for a reason. I remember when I was watching after the queen died, right? When we were watching the whole thing, and someone said something like, "We can't bring her back," something like that. Like, we can't bring her back this time. Blah 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 blah. And everyone was shocked. What does it mean that we can't bring her back? Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, it tells you that this reality is scripted. Like, there's a reason why they made us, like, there's a reason why they like, it was intentional. It's not like it was random, like it was just a mistake. Like, what kind of mistake is that? You know what I'm saying? We're dealing with professionals here. So obviously it was intentional. They want people to think a certain way and to feel a certain way, so they can, like, they always have an intention. Maybe as a collective, when certain things happen and they get us to feel a certain way, maybe our feelings and our emotions, they have that kind of power to kind of like bend reality in a certain way. But I thought it was it's crazy, man. It's crazy that things like that actually happen in this realm. So yeah, it's crazy. I think that's the biggest news, that Charlie died. Because I think I saw that I saw some posts on Facebook. People were talking about it. I was like, this dude, I didn't even know his name, right? I used to, like, I've watched many videos where he was talking, but I didn't know his name. And so when people were talking about him, I had to like Google him, and I was like, oh, this is the guy. It's crazy. Jesus Elohim. I love you, my beautiful, precious, strong, wise, bold, chosen one, earth angel, and beloved. Perpetual pleasurist, multi-layered evil. Yeah, exactly. That's how I feel about this thing, man. It kind of reminds me of the movie Inception, right? Things that were happening on the, like, because they were having a dream within a dream. Like, towards the end, or having a dream within a dream within a dream. So things that were happening uh, on the first layer of the dream were also affecting what was happening on other layers of the dream. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like that also in this reality. So I think as we become more and more conscious, we mustn't think that things just happen, like things are just random, like celebrities just die out of nowhere. Like I think everything is planned. I think there's a reason why it happened the day that it happened. I don't think the beings that are controlling this reality just allow things to randomly happen, especially things that affect a lot of people. You know, I think everything is planned and there's a reason. That is why I'm telling you that no matter what happens, we need to be grounded and not produce negative energy. Like it needs to get to a point where things happen and you just be like, okay, it's a hell dream. Why should I allow myself to suffer because of what happened? You know what I'm saying? You just be like, you know what, I'm just gonna let it be. I'm not gonna give it a lot of energy, because things are gonna keep on happening. Things that are shocking are gonna keep on happening. This year there are a lot of things that are shocking that are gonna happen. Next year there are a lot of things that are shocking that are gonna happen. Like it's never gonna stop happening. Things that will traumatize you will happen. Do you get what I'm saying? So what you need to do is to stay as detached as possible. Not let these things that are affecting a lot of people affect you, because I think there's a reason why things happen in this realm. I don't think things are random. I don't think it can things can be random, actually, especially in a room like this. How come some people know the script and others don't? What do you mean some people know the script? Who are these people that you feel know the script? Perpetual plagiarist, or the multi-layered evil factor is what makes me not trust that death is an automatic escape. Yeah, it seems all too easy for whatever runs this hell to let us off the hook. That is, yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking. Because some people think that when they die, it's all over, right? That is why, when people die, they say, "Oh, this person is gonna rest in peace" and all of that. I don't think so. I think you conquer while you're still here. I think that's the only way. I think you actually conquer by becoming more and more conscious. I think that's the only way. Like I was telling you guys that if we are still affected by small things, right? You're still affected by small things. You're affected by these things here in this layer. You're affected by small things when you're dreaming. You still have a long way to go. So you need to train yourself. So no matter what layer of reality you find yourself, you find yourself in, you have this way of conquering, whatever challenges you encounter. You're conquering by not letting these challenges affect you. Like that is the only way. I don't think it's even about succeeding. I think that's not going to help you, because some people may think that it's success that's going to help them. I know people who seem strong because things were going well for them in life. And then when they started to face challenges, you'll be like, you see these people, they start to squeal and all of that, right? You're like, oh, you were never strong. Things were just going well for you. So it mustn't have to do with things going well for you. It must have to do with with how you respond to things. So even if things are not going well for you, you are too strong to squeal. You are too strong to be affected deeply by these things, right? So that on whatever layer you find yourself on, you never, you never, you are never defeated, right? I always feel happy when I wake up from a dream. If if especially if it's a dream like a bad dream, right? And I have conquered in that dream. Right. Let's say I had a nightmare where I was dealing with a lot of problems, but I was able to solve these problems. I didn't feel defeated, right? Or if I were to fight with someone, and it was that person was wrong, and I had to defend myself against this person. I didn't run away. I stood my ground and fought back, and I won. I always feel proud because it tells me where I'm at, you know, when it comes to uh like my level of consciousness, because that's how I would respond also in this world. But if I'm living in fear, it means that even in my dreams I'll be fearful. And it also means that if there are other realities that I can experience, after I've left this reality, I'll still be a coward. But if I'm able to fight, then it means that I will be able to fight in whatever reality that I find myself experiencing. Christian rise. What I've come to realize in my 37 years is that everything is either a potato or not a potato. What does that even mean? Potato. Potato. What book would you recommend someone that wants to get more conscious and to see this room for what it is? I'd like someone to actually recommend some books. Like, I'm not the kind of person who read books. Um, I like watching YouTube videos than to read. And the reason why I hate reading is because of my eyes. Like, my eyes hurt when I'm reading. So I like to watch YouTube videos and to like just listen basically. Like when I'm sleeping, I like to listen to like YouTube videos. Especially during the day. I just like find a channel and like, okay, I need to listen to what this person is saying. If what they're saying resonates with me. Career Laura says some people are able to read my thoughts somehow or what will happen to me next. What do you mean? Because that's scary if there are people that can actually read your thoughts or predict what's gonna happen to you next. So I'd like you to elaborate. Okay, Mo says those dreams show you who you are. Exactly. I think dreams tell us a lot about ourselves than we even realize, right? Dreams tell us, because remember when you were a kid, you'd have dreams where, if maybe you are being chased by something scary, you'd run and you scream. Sometimes you wake up screaming, you know what I'm saying? But as you get older, you become more and more brave, you know what I'm saying? So even if you see something scary in your dream, you might find yourself more willing to face it, which is something that's really important because it also shows you that you are actually detached, right? The more you are willing to lose what you have, the more detached you are by default. Like those who are detached are those who are willing to lose what they have. If you have a lot to lose and you feel that way and you are afraid to detach yourself, it means yeah, you're still attached. Like the hell rim still got you, the matrix still got you. But if you are not afraid to fight, when you're getting bullied in your dreams, you are dealing with some demons in your dreams, you're like, you know what, I'm fighting, bro. Like it shows you're detached. You're like, yeah, whatever happens happen, but I'm not gonna, like, I'm still gonna be integrous in my dream. I'm not gonna be a coward in my dream, right? I'm still gonna stand up for what I believe in. So you being attached is you being too afraid to lose what you have, that in the process you are losing your soul or you are losing your integrity, right? You're no longer integrous, you're no longer real because you're afraid of losing what you have. So you not being able to face your demons in your dream is also a sign that you're still attached to this realm. But if you know what I'm saying, but when you're detached, it's easier for you to, fight back, if you're dealing with demons in your dreams. Sean, I should say, do you feel like people are intimidated by you for no reason? When I look at people, many of them look the other way. Um, yeah, if you are different, people will automatically be intimidated by you. The truth is, people fear what they don't understand, right? People fear what they don't. I remember Nas said it on his song, "Hate Me Now." He said people fear what they don't understand, hate what they can't conquer. So yeah, I would say, yeah, I do feel that, like, sometimes I do feel that people are actually intimidated by me, you know, and I think if you're different and if your aura is different, people will automatically be intimidated because they've never seen anything like you, right? They might not necessarily be like scared of you, but kind of like intimidated, like they don't know how to feel about you, how to treat you, how to respond to you. You know what I'm saying? Like you're this person that they just don't know what to say to you. You know what I'm saying? Like they do want to connect with you, they do want to understand you, but they just feel intimidated. You just this person that intimidates them. Cariolora, they can telepathic. I don't know. You think telepathy is real? Because if that is possible, if you feel like people can read your thoughts, I remember I used to feel like that actually growing up. Like, what if people can read my thoughts? It was one of my worst fears, right? Like, what if people can actually read my thoughts? Because that means that there's nothing that I can hide from anyone. But I think sometimes you can just feel that way. You can just feel like other people can read your thoughts, even if they can't read your thoughts, right? You just feel that way because yeah, maybe that's what you are most afraid of. So you see that a lot. So you find that there are many situations where people can't even read your thoughts, but you don't even pay attention to these situations. You're mostly paying attention to situations where it feels like they're reading your thoughts, even if they're not reading your thoughts, you see. Perpetual pleasures. Yeah, it seems lots are intimidated by me, even if I smile and look happy. Yeah, it's crazy, man. I think because I there are people that, like, when you see them for the first time and you realize how different they are, you'll be able to see why people are intimidated by them. You just understand. Oh yeah, I get it. And people will be judging them. You know, in many different ways. They'll say things that are not even true about this person because they just don't get this person. It's weird, man. It's actually weird. Your mind figuring out how to win actually boosts your confidence a little bit. When awake, you get a better sense of self and it makes your interactions in the world better. Yeah, you know what I like about the only thing that I actually like about dreams is that I get to understand myself better because there are things that I won't encounter in this world, right? There are situations that I'll never deal with in this world, not in this lifetime. So when I deal with these situations in my dream, let me give you an example. Let's just say I'm being chased by cops in my dreams, right? the way that I react in my dreams is the same way that I'll react in this world. So I learn a lot about myself. Like, oh, that's how I'll react. Oh, okay. Okay. In my dreams, I've lost everything and I've done a lot of dumb things, and you know, I need to maybe speak the truth. Maybe that's the only thing that's left for me to do, and I do that. If I don't speak the truth, then I'm gonna blame myself even if I wake up. I'll be like, damn, what does that say about me? You know? I'm afraid to speak the truth because I'm afraid of losing something. But what if I did speak the truth? Sometimes I look at dreams as test. You know what I'm saying? Like you're being tested. Like what would you do in a certain situation? What are your true values? Macy says lately it's been so different to like cope and stuff. It's like something is different. I've been just sleeping most of the time. What are your copes? What do you do mostly to cope? May Rose, welcome, welcome. Awakens and says it's like being a black man in Asia. Like when you're different, you feel like a black man in Asia. Like everyone treats you differently. I've always had a feeling that people don't treat me the way that they treat other people. And sometimes it's not a bad thing, but I've always had that feeling that the way people respond, that's why some people have what they call the Truman, they call it the Truman syndrome. That thing of sometimes people treating you as if they know you, or they've known you, or there's something about you that they feel is different, or people never forgetting you. That's another thing, right? Like maybe you go to a shop and you buy something, and then a few months later you go back and buy something else, and that person who sold you what you bought the first time remembers you, and you're like, how? Because you work at a shop where you meet like hundreds of people every day, right? How do you remember me? How do you even remember what I bought last time? Do you get what I'm saying? Me and you interacted for uh maybe a minute. Actually, I just asked you. In fact, I didn't even ask you anything. I just bought what I bought and left. But you remember me. You remember what I bought. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of scary sometimes, and it's something that happens to me all the time. I'll go to like a place like Johannesburg. Johannesburg is a place full of people, bro. Like people are always buying stuff. So you buy something at a store in Johannesburg, and then you go back and buy something different, and the person still remembers you. And you're like, dude, how? Am I that different? You mean to tell me that you've never seen someone like me before? Because I would understand if I was too damn different that, like I have facial features that were just too damn different that you just will remember me. Like you're forced to remember me. But I don't think so. I think I'm just like another person. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, people do pay a lot of attention to people who are different, bro. It's weird. And I don't mean when it comes to looks, I just mean when it comes to aura. Like they can sense it if you're different. AL says thoughts on astral projection. What I think is that consciousness is fundamental, right? I don't think that the physical world actually exists. So astral projection, but I want you to pay attention to what I'm going to say, right? I wouldn't say astral projection is what you think it is, like you're actually having an out of body experience. What I would say is that it appears as if you are, because everything appears as if it's actually happening, right? That's how things appear in this realm. So you can have an experience that makes you believe that it's, you're actually like experiencing astral projection. Like if astral projection was real, like most people say it is, right, who have experienced it, you will be able to prove it. You'll be able to go to your friend's house, enter your friend's house, figure out where everything is, and then you go back to your own body, and the next day you tell them. But then what really, what astral projection really is it's like a dream. It's like, because when you dream, you can go to your friend's house in your dream, but you find that, okay, the speaker is in the dining room, and then the next day when you wake up and you go to your friend's house, the speaker is not in the dining room and it wasn't put there. So it's the same thing. It's kind of like dreaming, right? But it's not like the kind of dreams that we have every night. It's kind of different, but it's more like a dream because nothing exists physically, right? There's nothing that actually exists physically. So I wouldn't say astral projection is what people think it is. Even a near death experience or an out of body experience, even if it's not astral projection, it's not what it seems, right? Because we don't live in a material universe where you can actually have, like, your soul can, come out of your body and you see your body. Like, what is that? All of it is happening in the mind. All of it is happening within the mind, right? Deb Oops says astral projection is yet another impermanent, impermanent and uncertain phenomenon that is not satisfactory and does not pertain to self. Yeah, I agree. I appreciate your thoughts on it. Watch all your vids, but I don't know if I had heard your thoughts on that subject before. Yeah, I've never really spoken about astral projection. I have, like, actually, like, but not recently. Ferric says, "What are the odds that a person is in the situation that always causes suffering? I never get what I want." Um, I think most of the people who live in this realm are experiencing suffering, right? It's just that people are not suffering the same way, and sometimes people don't focus a lot on their suffering. You can suffer, but don't focus on your suffering, or you don't consider your suffering. So it's possible to suffer, but you don't consider your suffering. Maybe all the people around you are going through the same thing. So to you, it doesn't really feel like suffering. Like, it's much easier to realize that you're suffering if other people are not going through what you're going through. But if everyone is going through what you're going through, it may get to a point where you don't even feel like it's suffering. You just call it life. You're like, this is how life is. You know what I'm saying? I remember Trevor Noah said something interesting. He was like, we grew up in townships where everyone was poor, right? So I didn't notice that I was poor because, well, everyone was poor. It's like, this is life. There's no one that you're competing with. So if everyone where you come from is poor, no one is poor basically, because everyone is poor, right? You have no, like, to actually be poor, you have to be competing with someone else. But think about it. Most of the people in this realm live like kings. Like, what do I mean? If you lived like in the 15th century, you be a king. Period. Like, you have the things that people in the 15th century will never even dream of having. Even the kings that, like, you know they there was like kings who were very powerful. They don't have the things that you have now. but you feel poor. Why? Because you're comparing yourself to Elon. You're comparing yourself to people who have like more compared to you, right? So you feel like you're poor, but in reality, you might not actually be poor. You just feel like you're poor because you're comparing yourself to others. Zoo tag 8 says, sometimes I feel like I'm trapped in purgatory. It feels that way, but I wouldn't call this place purgatory. I don't look at this as a punishment, right? I might call it a hell ring, but I don't look at it as a punishment. I think, like, the same way that I wouldn't look at animals in a zoo as I wouldn't say they're being punished. We're not punishing them. We want them there because we want to see them, and the zookeepers want them there because they're making money through these animals, right? When you kill a chicken, you don't kill a chicken because you're punishing it. You want to eat it and all that. So there are beings that are benefiting from our existence. So they're not punishing us. They're just benefiting from our existence, and they care more about their well-being than they care about our well-being. The same way that we care more about our well-being than we care about the well-being of animals. You know. So if you have a livestock, your interest is in making their lives better. You don't care. You don't really care about their happiness as long as you can get what you want from them. That's it. So it's the same with the beings that are controlling everything. They want what they want from us. So it feels like purgatory because you become so damn conscious and that you realize that no, there's something that's like awfully wrong. So now you just think that it's purgatory, but no, it's not. Sean, if I go walking, people like to act like idols when they pass me. You mean, oh, idols or idiots? Joe said, agreed. Mandy says, what's your thoughts on nihilism? Is life meaningless? That's a good question. Um, my favorite TV show is Atlanta, right? The last episode of Atlanta is called It Was All a Dream. I like that episode and I watch it a lot. It means something to me. Like when I watch it, it does mean something to me. Like it's so beautiful, man. Is life meaningless? When I look at existence itself, I don't feel the way that I feel when I watch that episode of Atlanta, right? So my answer is it's not that life itself is meaningless because you're the one who give life meaning. Is that life is so mediocre, or let me say this movie that we're watching and we call life is so mediocre that you can, like, a lot of people who are very conscious can't give it meaning, so it becomes meaningless by default, right? So when they say you give your life meaning, they're not wrong. But let's just say your life is so chaotic that there's no meaning. Like no matter how intelligent you are, you just can't create any meaning out of it, right? I've watched many movies, I've watched many TV shows that I just thought were just meaningless. But like, what is the meaning of this? This is just pure nonsense. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing that I can learn from this. But when I watch that episode of Atlanta, bro, like, there is so much. It's like when I watch it all the time, there's something that I'm getting out of it. When I watch movies like Inception, there's something that I'm getting out of the movie. When I watch movies like Shutter Island, there's something that I'm getting out of them. But there are some movies that you watch and you be like, that was just nonsense, bro. Like, what did I get out of that? what is the meaning of the movie? What were they even trying to accomplish with this kind of movie? Did they just have a lot of money and they just wanted to make that kind of you know what I'm saying? So the problem with life is that it's so like it's so bad that you can't create meaning out of it. Right. So that's what's making it meaningless. The real truth is that any experience that you have is meaningless, but there are experiences that are so good that you can create meaning out of them. I've had dreams that I felt were meaningful. I've had dreams that I was like, what the hell? You wake up from a dream and you're like, that was complete nonsense, bro. Like, why did I even have that dream in the first place? Like, what was it that I was supposed to learn from that dream, right? But there are some dreams that you wake up from and be like, damn, that really means a lot. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot that I can learn from that. Deb Oop says suffering arises and ceases, and so it does not belong to self either. Yeah, it doesn't, but we still experience it. Is the problem. Moo says, the line that marks where suffering lies is always moving. I'd like you to elaborate. What do you mean? Felix says, so if other people will have the same painful life, they would seem like, yeah, I mean, trust me, man, if people were suffering the same way, they would think it's normal. Like, let me give you this example. Let's say you lived in a village where there was no water. So people knew that you had to struggle to get water. It will seem normal because they're not comparing themselves to others. So they wouldn't even complain about that. It would just be what it will be normal to them. Because I grew up in a village where it was not easy to get water, right? We didn't really look at that as suffering. Like you would have to go for like maybe like to get water, you'd have to push a wheelbarrow for like 30 minutes, right? Find that it's like 4 kilometers from where you stay, where there's water. It didn't really feel like suffering, even though we were young. We didn't look at that as suffering because everyone was doing it. But if there were some people who had cars and they would just go and get, or they had water in their homes, then we'll look at that as suffering, you know? You mentioned in one of your videos about certain dreams you had and felt like you was awake and couldn't move. I have been in the same situation. Are you talking about sleep paralysis? There are people that I've communicated with, and I've asked them if they've had like sleep, like if they've ever experienced sleep paralysis, and they said no. Like how? But yeah, it's weird. Yeah, I've had dreams where I 100% thought I was awake, but I couldn't move and I couldn't speak and I couldn't scream. In some of these dreams, I'm able to move, but it's not easy. It's like when you're trying to move, you like moving slowly. I don't believe that those are just dreams. You know what I'm saying? Like you're just dreaming. Like I think there is something else that is happening. Like maybe something is being done to you and you don't even because why how you know what I'm saying? Like if some things are being done to you when you're sleeping, sometimes you'd wake up. Like mistakes will happen. I've experienced sleep paralysis, but not that many times in my life. Maybe less than 30 times, right? So maybe there are things that are being done to us sometimes when we're sleeping, and sometimes we wake up and we're not supposed to wake up. So that is why we're unable to move. And then when we really wake up, we just think, oh, it was just sleep paralysis, right? Even if it wasn't, something was actually being done to you, but you didn't realize that because you you are too damn educated basically. So you just think, oh, it's sleep paralysis. When you're experiencing sleep paralysis, your brain is doing this and that. You know what I'm saying? But I do believe it's something more than that. Like something is actually being done to you. You just wake up and come up with your own explanation, or the explanation that you've been given, and you just believe that explanation. Life feels like a paradox. Yeah, I mean, life is paradox. Lost was a good show. I have to rewatch that show. I have to rewatch it, or maybe watch the recap. Because yeah, there's something about it, man. Like there's something about these movies and TV shows where people don't know what is going on until the end. Because that's kind of like how life is. Like you don't know what is actually going on, and you hope that when it's all over, you're gonna get it. You're like, oh, this is what was actually going on all along. I saw a kids movie. They all lived in a magic kingdom. Their scientists figured out they were in a dream. They found the guy dreaming and built him the nicest bed so he would never wake up. Can you tell me what the name of the show is? Because you say it's a movie. Now tell me what the name of the movie is. I'd like to watch it tomorrow. Actually, I like movies about dreams. I like movies about dreams, especially when it's like it's not easy to figure out that they're dreaming and all that. So I would like to watch that kind of movie. When you said would live better than kings, but now we are unhappy even when we like control lightning compared to the old kings. We need to be happy with our perspective. Maybe no, no, no. We do live like kings, even better than kings. We do eat better food, maybe. I mean, in terms when it comes to taste, we do have entertainment. I'm able to communicate with people who live in other countries. You know, in the 15th century, kings didn't have this. The problem is that now we compare ourselves to others. So that's why we realize we're suffering. You compare to yourself. Let's say you don't have a car, you compare yourself to someone who have a car. Let's say you don't have a house, you compare yourself to someone who has a house. Let's say you don't have a place to stay, you compare yourself with someone who has a place to stay. Let's say you don't have a job, you compare yourself to someone who has a job. You get what I'm saying? So you automatically suffer. But if everyone didn't have a job, everyone didn't have a car, everyone didn't have a house, let's just say everyone was homeless, you were living in the bushes, you wouldn't feel like you're suffering because you're not comparing yourself to others. I mean, even if you're comparing yourself to others, but everyone is going through the same thing. Calores is I only had it once when I hypnotized myself. Can you do that? Can you hypnotize yourself? It might not have been a dream. It feels real, too real. It's not a dream. Like when you have you experience sleep paralysis. Trust me, it's not. It's not. It's not a dream. Thing with sleep paralysis is that You see your room as it is, right? You see the fridge where it is, your TV where it is, your wardrobe where it is. You know what I'm saying? Everything is where it is. In a dream, things are a bit different. You know, you find that your fridge is, or maybe there's no fridge, right? If you have a fridge in your room, but then in your dream there's no fridge, or there's something that is not supposed to be there. But when you're experiencing sleep paralysis, you see things exactly as they are, but there's another person there, and this person, seems to be there for you, and they're not. Sometimes, like the weirdest sleep paralysis experience that I've had, there was this woman who was walking like on, like she was standing over my bed looking at me, and she had this creepy smile, and she's just walking, and I'm looking at her, and I'm trying to say something and trying to move, but I can't. And she's just walking and looking at me, and I'm like, what the hell is this? And then I woke up, and I was like, that was not a dream. I said that to myself. I was sleeping alone. I woke up and I was like, that was not a dream. There's no way that was a dream, bro. Like that was real. I saw this, like I saw this woman, and I saw everything that was in my room. How was that a dream? So it's some things we shouldn't believe them, like when it comes to some things we shouldn't believe the mainstream narrative. Like we must try to think for ourselves, like what is really going on. I don't believe like that you can experience something like that because your brain, maybe there's something wrong with you, or that day you didn't have a good day, now your brain created that. I don't believe that. I think you're having a real experience, but you don't you don't truly understand it. We don't truly understand what sleep paralysis is. That's the thing. Do you think our dreams are being manipulated by external forces? Yeah, that's a good question, man. It's something that I've been asking myself for the longest time. If there are beings that are controlling our reality, why will they not control our dreams? If there are beings that want our energy when we're dreaming, why will they? I mean, when we're not dreaming, why will they not make us experience nightmares so that they can get energy from us? Because even when you're dreaming, you do get scared, right? You do get hurt, right? So I would say not external forces. Like I don't want to say there's something that is controlling our reality that is living outside of reality itself, right? Or experience itself. But I would say there are things that we are unable to control that are causing our dreams to be the way that they are. I think that's the best way to put it. The same, because the same thing is happening in this realm. Like there are some things that you just can't control. There are things that you don't want to see happening that happen in this realm too. So it's the same thing with dreams, but I wouldn't say it's external forces. I would say it's forces that you don't understand and that you can't control. So it's logical to call them external forces, but I would still say they are within reality itself. Carla Laura says, so what is being done to us in sleep paralysis? Maybe we're being studied. There's a chance. There's a chance that we're actually being studied. This reminds me of the TV series called like People of Earth, where some people got kidnapped by aliens, um, and they were being studied. So sometimes they'll wake up when they're being studied, they were being studied, and they'll experience something similar to sleep paralysis. They wouldn't be able to move, they wouldn't be able to talk. They'll just open their eyes and see what is going on, and then wake up the next day and they just think that they just had a dream, but it was in their dream, it was actually something real. So maybe we're being studied, maybe we're being programmed to think a certain way, maybe you know, there, maybe it's a reset, like they're trying to, like, maybe you going off script. I mean, the title of the video is like go off script, right? Maybe you're going off script and they're trying to reprogram you so that they'll be able to control you. Who knows? But it does feel like something is being done to us, right? Or sometimes it's, if you watch the movie Inception, maybe sometimes they're trying to put an idea in your mind, performing some rituals or whatever, and sometimes they fail. It works more like witchcraft. So sometimes they fail, and you wake up and you cage them trying to do what they're trying to do, and yeah, you just call it sleep paralysis, but it's something. It's so much more. But says, "What's up, Ben? Welcome to the live." But says, "What thoughts on Charlie?" I still have to. I think I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna talk about him because I even like this thing is too damn recent. Like, I've only just seen a few videos and post about it, but I don't know much about it. The Sandman on Netflix has a lot of truth in it. Um, and I'm gonna watch it. What is it about actually? Because if you say there's a lot of truth in it, everything with truth, I have to watch it. Awakens Senses. Have you watched You or Dexter? I've only watched You. I think I've watched like maybe 2 episodes of Dexter, but I've watched You. I think I've watched the first and the second season. I like the first season. Sleep paralysis feels like an invisible demon is holding you down, paralyzing you, taking away most of your senses and mobility. Yeah, but it's but you just can't have that kind of experience if something is not being done to you. I don't think your brain can do that to you. I think something is definitely being done. The film is called Rag. It is a cartoon movie. It really hit me hard as a kid. It is on YouTube. It's called Rag. Now I have to check it out. Sleep paralysis is some terrifying stuff. Yeah, man, you wake up scared when you experience something like that. We can't even trust our own senses, but our senses is the only thing we have in this realm. Yeah, obviously we can't even trust our own senses, but I would say it's best to look at reality the same way you look at dreams, right? The common sense trap. Yeah, the common sense trap is a real thing, actually. There are things that are normal to believe, but these things can mislead us. Like, we need to stop trying to be normal. Sometimes have your own explanation of what is going on in this world, even if people are going to think that you're crazy. Can you even trust anyone here? The real answer is no. What if you're in a Truman show? You know what I'm saying? You don't know what reality is, so anything is possible at this point. Thoughts on DMT? I've never tried DMT. I've only tried um, shrooms. So I don't know. People talk about psychedelic experiences. I've never truly experienced that. I've just experienced something similar. Do you think everyone would ever be able to agree on the ideal society, or do we all just need our own existence? But yeah, that's a good question. I think the best solution for sentient beings is them finding themselves in their own worlds, in their own simulations, because there will always be a value alignment problem, or people with this, but no, even people with the same ideas, I think they will not be able to be happy because there will still be value alignment problem, right? So really what will make people happy is finding themselves in a world that is not real, where they're the only one who's conscious, but they believe it's real and things are going their way. Simple. So they are happy because things are going their way and they think that what they're experiencing is real, and no one is suffering because of them, because they're not trying, they're not living according to their ideals, right? You know what I'm saying? Because there's no, like, we have different interests, bro. Imagine if you're born in a Muslim country. I remember there are people that I've spoken to who live in in Islamic countries. They're not even allowed to drink alcohol. So let's say you like to drink alcohol, you're gonna have a problem. They're not gonna have a problem. They don't want to drink alcohol. You see. So can you imagine if you live in a world that allows you to be you, and yeah, to live life the way that you want to live life, and that work that's working for you. You know what I'm saying? That would be good. So I would say you would need to be in a world where you are the only one who's conscious, but you have no idea that you're the only one who's conscious, and things just go your way. Like, you need your own simulation, basically. The Sandman is really about how dream stories and change shape. We, no, I have to watch it. I have to watch it. Everything about dreams, bro. Like, that's I love series and movies about dreams. I have a TV recommendation. The Prisoner is on YouTube, ITV retro channel. He is a spy and stops. He is kidnapped and put in a fake village, and reality is weird, and they want him to give information. Hmm. It's called The Prisoner. Guys, please comment this, like, after this live. I'm gonna finish the live soon, so please just comment, like, just tell me in the comment, like, after this video, so that I can watch this stuff. I need to rewatch Reg. I hope you enjoy it. Now I have to check it out. I have to check it out. Ching. Hey, I hope I can pronounce this name right. It's Chingage. Hi, Benedictine. Welcome to the live. Gaza girl, Charlie Cake is, yeah. It's crazy that these things happen in our reality. What if we're already in bowels and some get hell, some get heaven? I don't know. If I was in my own simulation, I don't think it would be like this. I will only say this. It will only be like this if it's not a simulation, if it's just a dream, and I don't know how to control it. I didn't know Charlie Kick was 31, so he's younger than me because I'm 32. I didn't know he was 31. That is crazy. Yeah, the Sandman is about king of dreams and sibling destiny desire. I have to. I just have to watch it. I have to. I think maybe the first. Is I don't know if it's a movie or TV show, but I think that's what I gotta watch first out of everything that was recommended here. Thank you guys for joining the live. Let's like the live. Um, Today we're not gonna go in Discord because I'm actually tired. I just wanted to talk to you guys. Like I was busy with something today, so I didn't get a time. Like I didn't get a chance to record a video. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go live before I sleep. So thank you guys for joining. Um, so we can all agree we live in the most realistic dream ever. Yeah, I think that's the way to put it. Like it feels real, but yeah, I do believe it's a dream. If a person asks me what life is, I'll tell them it's a dream. I've never I felt it was a dream since when, maybe since 2019. I've been feeling like this is a dream, and I'm more convinced now than more than ever that it's a dream. Like I think I've seen enough evidence that it's actually a dream. Sandman is mind bending for sure. Now I'm gonna watch Sandman, guys. I'm gonna watch Sandman first, but please comment even on the like comment section of this video after the live have ended. Tell me what TV shows, what movies you'd like me to watch, and that you like people to watch my videos to watch. Thank you all, guys.